Hey guys, I'm Sean with the Comics Pals. We are here live at Keystone Comic Con 2019. The Comics Pals' first time getting into Keystone. This is a very exciting event for us. And I'm here with someone that I'm really excited to talk to. This is round two.
Yes.
Sean with Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics. How's it going for you this weekend, sir?
It's actually going very well. As you can see, there's a difference in the room today than when we saw you guys yesterday. And let me just say this without any question. Tom Holland fills a room, okay? He fills a room, y'all. Like, give that man some credit, some respect. Y'all put some respect on his name. He fills a room. I gotta give it a shout out. That's dope stuff. That's dope stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It is. There's a different buzz in the air, different energy.
It's higher, everything.
And how is that impacting you? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling good?
Man, you know what? I am, and it's necessary. I was literally arguing with my buddy John Paul last night till 2:30 in the morning on why I think Rogue One is a trash movie. This is not even a joke. Like I mean, it got so bad. We were role playing as admirals in like the rebellion, trying to make the decisions. Me justifying what my position was, him justifying his position. Is the greatest moment of my geek career. Unfortunately, there's no audio. I wish you guys, we should have recorded it. There's not. We should have recorded it because it would have been so amazing to see two grown men arguing over why we would have made these moves within this fictional cinema. Ridiculous.
So let me get this right.
Yeah.
You role played as characters in Star Wars.
Fictional characters. Like, we were ourselves making these arguments. But as, like, he was Admiral Deshawn, and I'm Admiral Dandridge, and I'm making my argument for why I think things should have gone that way, and he's making his argument for why things should have gone the way he thinks it should have gone. To each, like, it was ridiculous, but it was amazing at the same time.
And you chose to do this with no camera. Mr. Podcast over here chose to do this with no audio recording.
We started talking, and we multiple times through the conversation we were like, dude, we should be recording this right now. But we were so engrossed in the conversation that stopping to go and record, no, couldn't do that.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I've been in the heat of the moment before. Sometimes.
Exactly. That's what it is. It was the heat of the moment. Can't stop, won't stop. Let's just hash it out.
So before we talk comics, you mentioned Tom Holland.
Yes.
Yesterday I ran across you, and we talked a little bit about the Sony thing. For those of you guys out there who don't know, I'll make it real quick.
Where have you been? Really?
Do you live under a rock? Like what? Sony and Disney, they broke up.
Right.
Spider-Man is Sony got custody of the baby, and he's going back home.
They was looking at Marvel like your child support payments need to change up. We looking at it a little different. You know, Marvel was like, hey, we kind of want to do 50-50 parenting, so, you know, I don't got to pay nothing. And Sony was like, I really like the deal that we have right now. And Marvel's like, but, and they're like, nah.
They didn't come correct, I guess.
They didn't, man. They didn't. You gotta kiss on the cheek first. You gotta talk about my hair. Tell me how nice I am. You know what I'm saying?
So on the Comics Pals episode 148, you can hear my thoughts about it, but I want to spotlight Victor's thoughts on it because I think you had a really interesting position.
Okay, so my whole perspective on it is very simply, Sony is in the right here. And the reason for this is financial only. Like, let's just look at it from the financial aspect that they were in a position where when Tom Holland appears in a Marvel Cinematic produced movie, so that's Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, Sony gets nothing. Right? And that's very, very important to understand towards this deal because a lot of people are looking at it saying that Far From Home, which is the first of the Spider-Man franchises to break $1 billion, which is fantastic, they're like, yo, that's Marvel Studios. While it might have had that push, it is the only one, okay, mind you, there's been at least two Sony-produced movies, so it's a 50-50 chance that it's going to break $1 billion. That's essentially it. What Disney is asking for is to basically put in half so that they get half. Yeah. So where Sony is basically saving, we'll say, $125 million on the footing of the bill, when it comes to splitting the profits, they lose $500 million. Right. Now, from that math, no. No, there is no way that I'm going to save $125 million to lose $500 million. That is a loss. That is an L. That is a wrong. That is my buddy JP, who we were arguing about Rogue One last night.
Oh, that's That's so funny.
That's JP.
He just
I literally was just talking about Rogue One, and you appeared. I don't want to hear it from you no more about saying. Now, whenever we say Rogue One, somebody shows up. Now I see what it is. So yeah, that's that's what it is in terms of just financials alone. And money talks. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Marvel fan. I love what the MCU did, but in this position, it was not smart for Disney to flex like this. That was the problem, because Sony has actually proven that they are capable of making money outside of the MCU connection. Venom, as much as people lampoon that movie, I didn't necessarily love it, but it made a lot of money. And the thing is that when you have a position like that where you've at least made capital, you can actually hire people that are better at the job to make a better installment. So the next iteration of Venom could very well be way, way better. Way, way better. That's so important to see that they're growing. The notion of Into the Spider-Verse, they won an Oscar. Now, financially, Into the Spider-Verse made a fraction of the money Far From Home did. Absolute fraction. But in terms of prestige, they beat Disney in a category that Disney has owned for like 13 years. Right, like Disney was the king of animation forever, and Sony was like, here's this thing, and boom, it knocked the giant off. So you look at those factors, why should Sony budge? Why should they move? They are right now in an indie dominant position, and they should maintain that, because that's the thing that they need in order for their company to sustain. That's important. That's important.
I agree with the general picture. Like I said, my more complex thoughts can be found on the Comics Pals. I want to keep the spotlight on you because you do a couple things. You don't just talk. You don't just role play in your hotel room at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, not just, but it does happen.
You also create some comics.
I create a couple things, a couple books here and there. Hardest working man in comics, got these wonderful products coming out of Vantage House Productions. We got a couple things.
Speak on them.
So the one that is most important for me to talk about right now is The Trouble with Love. This right here is an 8-page preview. The Trouble with Love I do with Harold Edge and Ryan Carter. And here's the thing. This book actually came out in 2012. The full one-shot came out in 2012, and we are doing an indieGoGo re-release literally starting on Wednesday, September 1st, in order to get a big marketing push behind it. The reason for that is because we actually have a sequel that's in production. And not only do we have it in production, we actually have the first issue available. It actually premiered. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's right. So what we're basically trying to do is we're trying to get a marketing push to get more people back aware of The Trouble with Love. So then the funds that we raised with this marketing campaign go through the production of the rest of Never Too Late. So we already have issue 1. So obviously if you support The Trouble with Love, we will have add-ons where you could buy Never Too Late #1, and then as things are going, number 2, 3, and 4. So this is the beginning of what I'm calling the Affinity Gauntlet Saga. And the reason for it is, okay, so if you see on the cover here, he's wearing this gauntlet, right, and it is a very significant portion of story. Yeah, right here. It's right here. Very significant portion of the story, and it will have tremendous repercussions in the entire VIP landscape. So it's going to, this is literally where I have all these different projects, and I'm saying they're actually connected. And you're going to get to see it. Actually, I'm gonna show you something. I'm not going to show them. Yeah, that's right.
We love exclusives on the Comics Pals.
So in this regard, this is a showcase of different titles of the VIP universe. This right here is the Samaritan.
Yeah.
Right? This is from The Wonders. This is a new book that's coming out. This right here is a character that actually premiered in Origins Unknown, and so is she. And then this is actually our flagship character named Vantage. Y'all can't see this yet. Y'all don't even know. This is an homage to Batman called The Night Watch. And yeah, we got some stuff.
What I just saw was actually really awesome. The art was tremendous. Just spoilers aside, it's good looking.
That's Harold Edge. He's back. So all the more reason to support this. He's helped me craft the most phenomenal universe. And again, the reaches of it are going to blow your mind. You're going to be so excited. This is my Miller world. This is my Mark Miller has this great tapestry of individual titles, but if you really look beyond the curtain just a little bit, you're like, hey, does that mean, And that means, so I'm expecting Netflix to call me. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. And if not Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, I'm willing to negotiate, whatever.
I think all of them should be knocking on your door.
They should be calling me. Listen, I'm the Jordan Peele of comics, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Okay? You heard it here.
And on the subject of The Trouble with Love,
Yes.
I actually got the first one
Yes.
a while ago. I read it. I loved it. And so I'm actually excited to be able to pick this up today.
I got you.
And then also get with the indieGoGo, which launches.
It literally launches September 1st, 2019. We're going to only run it for 24 days. And again, the benefit of it is like the book is done. It's been done for years. What we're offering is newsstand editions, variant covers, and even a collected trade paperback version all at once. So every aspect that you could possibly want to consume your comics in, if you like digital, we got digital. So whatever you need, we can do for you. We just want to get more people to know about this project so that more and more people follow the sequel.
Now, believe it or not, I know that sounds like a lot, but that's not, that's a fraction of what the man is doing. When we say hardest working man in comics, we're not playing around. So you were working with Wizard World.
Yes.
In an artist alley coordinator capacity,
Yes,
right? That's fair to say?
Yeah, I was working, I built up to Artist Alley guest coordinator with Wizard World. It's a company that I really made a lot of inroads with in terms of the comic convention market. But in addition to like just that, I was also a panelist, celebrity moderator. I would do press for them, host their drink and draw. I would host their costume contest. I was that guy. Yeah. So yes, that was a used to was. I actually stepped down last August, literally a year ago August, from the Artist Alley guest coordinator position, and only recently did I step down from doing any moderating and things like that with them. So yes.
And now you're with GalaxyCon. Oh, there it is, the big reveal.
GalaxyCon is my Comic-Con home. Shout out to Mike Broder and the family. They have embraced me, and I am now their Artist Alley guest coordinator consultant, and it's been a phenomenal thing where I actually get to engage with a lot of like phenomenal talents, bring them to the shows. We've got 4 shows in our roster. Currently, we've got Richmond, Virginia, we've got Raleigh, North Carolina, we've got Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Louisville, Kentucky. So some phenomenal shows. They are actually a carryover, a brand change from Florida SuperCon, which actually got bought by Reed. So shout out to Reed and their transition. Good luck to them in Florida. Definitely hope that they make that a very profitable thing for them. But in the meantime, GalaxyCon is kicking. They are doing wonderful things. It is a combination of so many different styles of Comic-Con. You will find something that you want. If you're a regular comic artist fan, we got the best of the best of the best coming there. If you like anime, it's run like an anime show. Like literally on like the slow days, the Fridays, or if there's a Thursday, Friday set, the show doesn't close until 1 in the morning. 1 in the morning. On Saturday, 2 in the morning. Like we are popping. There's actually so they actually have a live wrestling event here. This company has like its own wrestling troupe. Like its own wrestling troupe. It's called, I'm dead serious. It's so crazy. It's FSCW, and cosplay meets wrestling.
That's where I live. That's literally where I live.
Boom, okay? Like, I literally watched a match that was Peter B. Parker. I'm trying to remember who they fought. It was Peter B. Parker and Lando Calrissian versus, like, I am dead serious. Dead serious. And the guys that are doing it, it's not just a matter of like, oh, I'm going to slap on a costume and this is that. These guys are actually portraying the characters. The dude, when he walked out as Lando, everybody in the room got pregnant. Everybody. He had the swagger, the sway. He had the head lean. I felt the baby kick. I was like, oh, my uterus, sir. Like, wow. Dude, it was amazing. So, yes, I got a lot of love for GalaxyCon. I'm very excited to work with them. I also do a lot of panels with them. Again, working with like top tier talents. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
So what's the number one thing that you've learned from being in this position, from working on, the other side at Wizard World, now being at GalaxyCon in that same position? What have you learned, and what's something that you could tell creators who are coming up like you were, to sort of get them in the door and, maximize their potential?
So the best thing that I can tell any creator possible is the goal that you need is to create experiences through your content. Whether that is the books that you've created, the way that you create them, or the way that you market and sell them, create an experience for the people of the show. I can't tell you how many times that, if you're just behind the table, sitting there, hoping to move your stuff, that's a miss. That's a 100% miss. But if you engage, if you create something that people are drawn to you, and not necessarily even just for your benefit, if you do it for the show's benefit, that is also a thing. I got to give a shout out to my brother, Mike Watson. Freestyle Comics, he is phenomenal. What he'll do is he'll go out when there's the beginning of a show and there's a line of people waiting outside, waiting to get in. He's entertaining them. That is to the benefit of the show. They have all these people that are wanting to get into the floor. They can't. It sucks to wait in line. That sucks. But imagine if somebody is coming out to engage and entertain those people for you. What a blessing that is. What an added bonus that is. There's a joy to having that person at the show, and there's a lot of different perks and compliments that can come about from that. So aim at creating an engaging experience with your content, both for yourself and for the show.
That's sound advice, and I think it was, but I think that it penetrates because one of the things for me, right, is I see a lot of people who, maybe sometimes they look a little bit,
we'll say introspective, maybe, or yeah.
And I'm looking for interesting tables. I'm looking
introverted, not introspective. Yeah, introverted. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
The people know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for people to talk to who look interesting, who look like they have a good book that I can put on our show to help promote. And if it looks like, you're not into it,
how are you supposed to be into it? Like that's like trying to get somebody else to sell your stuff better than you do. No one should sell my books better than me. Right. I welcome that challenge. Any comic shop in the country, if you think that you can actually outsell me at my own books, I welcome that challenge. In fact, if you can do it, I'd like to split a commission with you. Put my books in your store. Let's see what happens.
I love it.
Thank you.
That's cool.
I'm just throwing it out there. It's a challenge. I'm calling it the hashtag, Sell Better Than Me Challenge. That's what it is.
Hashtag Sell Better Than Me Challenge. I want to see a comic book retailer step up and take that bet.
Let's go. Y'all scared. Y'all don't want it. Hardest working man in comics. You know what it is.
So we're actually running out of time, unfortunately, but I do want to give you the opportunity to just plug everything. Let us know where we can find you, all that jazz.
Okay, so at Vintage In-House is me on all forms of social media. Wait, hold on. Excuse me. Okay, at Vintage In-House is me on all forms of social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. Find my Facebook page. Check out You Create Comics, the letter U, CRE8 Comics. It's a whole workshop program product line to help you bring comic books into the classroom. So if you have any students that are struggling, that don't have the necessary interest in the traditional classroom behaviors, bring some comics in. See how that stuff changes. Look for it. Like that page. Check out, listen to me on the Hall of Justice podcast. I'm very frequently on there. Definitely check me out on Black, White, and Red All Over. It's on comictown.tv on YouTube. It's a video review series. Every week we're looking at new books. So if you want to know what new things are coming out, know what we think about it, check those out. We share. My man Ryan Seymour, shout out to Rye. He's awesome. It's fantastic. And I even have a new show that's in development right now. First breaking news. It's called Unconventional, and it will be all about different aspects of being in the comic book business. I will talk reviews, I will talk geek news, and I will also throw out little tidbits about helping you be a more impactful comic creator in this business.
That was a mouthful, but it was so eloquent and so exciting. We got 2 exclusives. Unconventional, the show in production right now. My man Victor Dandridge, thank you so much for giving us the time.
My pleasure.
Much appreciated. We're going to have him on the show, so stay tuned for that. You're going to see a lot more from Keystone Comic Con. We've got tons of different interviews, indie spotlight, all that jazz. You already know the deal. The Comics Pals, I'm Sean Bartley signing off. Make sure to check us out all over the internet, social media, The Comics Pals. Find us. We're out. Peace.